Among his many military accomplishments was he fought for us in Vietnam's Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the largest single operation in Marine Corps history. After retiring as a four-star general, our presenter went on to have a very successful business career where he led several major corporations to huge successes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you General Walter Boone.
Since Alan has allotted me 2 minutes, let's cut to the chase. The fair chase. Weatherby Award winner, outstanding Marine officer. To achieve one of these in a lifetime is exceptional. To achieve both is phenomenal. The similarities of both, however, are very seldom reflected upon. In the Marine Corps, the foundation upon which we plant our feet is called our core values: honor, courage, commitment. Honor, courage, commitment. But if you read your own words, the core values are there. Ethics, ethical sport hunting, character, sportsmanship. The standard of conduct for the Weatherby Award is hard. The standard of conduct for a Marine officer is equally hard. To live up to the core values of the Weatherby and to live up to the core values of the Corps as one person sets you apart in this world. You know Craig's hunting achievements that brought us here tonight. You don't know about his Marine Corps career. There's a tiny bit written about it in your program. He served his nation and Corps for 31 years with distinction and honor. He had the courage to take the extra step. The courage to put his civilian career at risk by agreeing to come and serve on active duty again and again, often having to leave his family. He was committed to excellence. And to my knowledge, he's the only Marine Corps Reserve officer to win both the General Clifton B. Cates Award for the best rifle company, and when he was a little younger, in the 4th Marine Division, to be followed up several years later with the General Harry Schmidt Award for the best infantry battalion in the 4th Division. As a senior Marine officer, he was chosen for some of the most difficult and challenging assignments we had to offer. I haven't even begun to do his Marine Corps career justice, but I hope you have gained the essence of it. I was intrigued by a paragraph on the Weatherby website about what it takes to become a Weatherby Award winner. Some of the words, your words. It is easy climb 1,000,000 feet, walk a few thousand miles, spend years away from home and family, usually in a foreign land. Now, if a Marine read that, he or she would say, damn, that's what I do. Both are passions and a way of life for a few fortunate people. Craig, you've managed to do both. You are our winner, the Corps and the Weatherby. I'm pleased to know you and honored to call you a friend. Congratulations on your award this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would turn your attention to the video.
This is really a fantastic event for me, and I tell you, there's so many great friends, you know, some folks that I've met recently, some folks that I've known for 40 years, maybe even 50 years. I really appreciate all of you being here tonight, and I can assure you, I am really happy to be here tonight. This isn't the typical Oscar speech where it's a big surprise to be up here. I've known since July. Now, that actually was a surprise, but realistically, I've had a decade as a nominee to think about what I might say tonight. Well, first off, I want to thank the Foundation and the Selection Committee. Now, 62 years of tradition. This award really is the ultimate honor in the hunting world. As such, the Weatherby is always a historic event, but especially so in my little world. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a journalist. Now that's a fancy title. Preferred in my business, I'm just a gun writer. I've been doing this for a long time, and these days some folks try to slip other titles in there. For me, descriptions like celebrity and professional hunter are sort of like fingernails on a blackboard. Celebrity doesn't even deserve a comment. That's just plain silly. Professional hunter, now that's a time-honored title. It's a time-honored title. And we've got a lot of real professional hunters in this room. I'm not. I'm just a gun writer. And I've been really fortunate to have made a living at being a gun writer for these past 40 years. So on this night, I'm reminded of Count Dracula, the 1,000-year-old vampire, when he says, I am the last of my kind. In 1957, outdoor life Jack O'Connor was the second Weatherby recipient. In 1958, his counterpart at Field and Stream, Warren Page, was the third. That was 60 years ago. No journalist or gun writer has won since, and I fear none will ever win again. I've seen my business change a lot. I've gone from writing longhand on tablets, not stone tablets, they were a little before my time, but good old yellow tablets, to typewriters, to smart typewriters, to desktops, to laptops, and who knows what's next. Media's changed too. In my beginning, just after stone tablets, print was king. Now many of us dabble in a strange entity called outdoor television, and of course we all do social media. That's a real pain in the neck, or maybe someplace lower than that. But hey, it's a multimedia world. But when I look in the mirror, I still see that anachronism, a journalist. And I try to make sure that the face looking back at me is an honest journalist. Now, these days, that's increasingly a contradiction in terms. My buddy Conrad likes to say that in order to be an honest journalist, it's essential to take a vow of poverty. That's not quite as bad as that. But to be both a good and honest gun writer, there are limitations, and you better be damn prolific. It used to be that when I got into a hunting camp, folks wanted to talk about fun stuff like favorite rifles, cartridges, and bullets, and best hunts. Today, the first question is likely to be, who are your sponsors? For me, that's a real short answer. I don't have any. There's a tightrope that we walk. Magazines have advertisers and TV shows have sponsors, and courtesies are extended. That's good business and good manners. But I've managed to avoid personal sponsorships in the stuff I write about, which means I can write about the industry honestly, with a clear conscience. It's a great industry, and it's been really good to me. And by the way, hey, that industry is well represented here tonight. Pete Brownell, who actually does have a business beyond the NRA, Mary and Dan Cabela, Dieter and Betty Krigoff, John Lazzaroni, Josh Cleghorn, Cryptech, his team, Andy Kuhl of Explorer Satellites, Mossberg's Linda Powell, Adam and Brenda Weatherby, CZ's Jason Morton, Gordon Marsh of LG Outdoors and Wholesale Hunter, and so many more. And let's not forget the Hornady crew. Jill and Steve are here, and some of their folks. Now, Jason Hornady was going to be here, but I got to explain why he's not, because he's working tonight. Thing is, at a SHOT Show some years back, my stepson, Jim Gray, and Donna and I were having dinner with Steve and Jill Hornady, and it turns out that Jimmy, our stepson, he's a zombie freak. And it turns out that Steve Hornady is a bit of a zombie freak too. You know, they can give you a song and verse on every zombie movie ever made, recite all the lines. So by the end of dinner, written on napkins, they had a whole plan for a line of Hornady zombie ammo. And okay, now we're going to work. So about 3 days later, Jason Hornady called me and he said, "My God, Boddington," he said, "what have you done to my father?" He said, "You have got to talk him out of this." Well, hell, if you know Steve Hornady, once he has his mind set, you're not going to talk him out of it. So I told Jason, it's going to sell. It's just for fun. Hey, just in case too. But it's just for fun. And he said, "No," he said, "we'll be the laughing stock. You've got to talk him out." I said, "Tell you what, I'll make you bet. I'll bet it'll sell." And he said, "Well, what do you want to bet?" Well, I wanted desperately, and by the way, I still wanted more forest buffalo. And I said, "Well, Jason, you don't have bongo." I said, "Tell you what," I said, "I'll bet you a 2x2 forest safari that this is going to work." That's why he's working. He's got to sell some bullets because we're going to Congo in May. Hey, but the thing is, and so many folks that are out here tonight in the industry are all good friends. And hey, you bet I write about the products. I get paid to write about it. But the magazines pay me. The folks in the industry don't pay me, and that's a costly distinction. But it keeps that image in the mirror smiling right back at me and has these past 40 years. Gun writers have additional limitations in that we always have to be concerned not only about getting a story, but making sure it's a story the readers want to hear and the editors are going to accept. Hey, it's no secret that you have to chase a lot of unicorns and three-toed gazorks to get on this podium. But not a lot of readers want to read about unicorns and gazorks, and fewer editors are going to run those stories. So of necessity, guys in my business spend a lot of time in the field chasing story material. Deer, elk, turkey, hogs, hey, if we're lucky, the occasional kudu or buffalo. Ultimately, there's only so much time, and chasing unicorns and gazorks takes a lot of time. A primary reason I'm standing here tonight is that I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and for the younger hunters in the crowd, one of the few smart things I've done over the years is that from the very beginning, as time and budget allowed, I've always tried to hunt the various species available in an area, not just the primary quarry. Partly this was curiosity, and partly so I could generate more stories. But I can honestly say that for many years, this was not in pursuit of the Weatherby, and I can even say with a straight face that reaching this podium was not a lifelong goal. Yeah, now let's get real. Nobody gets up here by accident, okay? But I've been a full-time journalist in our field for nearly 40 years. Over time, the Weatherby rules have changed. As one of several professional categories, I was barred from competing until recently. Now, those restrictions are gone. We've had a taxidermist win, Mike Simpson. We've had an outfitter win, Jimmy Rosenbrook. And now, once again, after 60 years, we have a gun rider. But I'm not sure we'll have another one. Hey, make no mistake. The Weatherby is very much a competition, especially at the tail end. From comments over the last 6 months, I gather that a number of my friends out there think I probably should have been on this podium a lot sooner. I don't agree. I don't hunt as a contest. I hunt because it's who I am, and at least as much as what I do. But every contest has its rules, and hey, maybe I would have gotten here a bit sooner if I hadn't ignored some of those rules. The Weatherby's a unique beast in that the hunting side is qualified primarily by the variety of species. Overall experience is sort of extra credit, and duplicates don't count for much. I'll admit it, hey, there was a time when I almost succumbed to Weatherby fever. But I got past that, and in recent years I've proceeded at my own pace. I do a lot of hunts for stories, and I do a lot of hunts for TV shows. And on a lot of hunts, I play second fiddle to Donna and my 2 daughters, Brittany and Caroline. You know what? Those are experiences I wouldn't have missed, but they haven't sped up the process. And honestly, I've spent an awful lot of time hunting places and animals that I personally like to hunt. And that hasn't sped up the process either. Last week, I updated my Weatherby ballot for the last time. Under major trophy hunts, 460. Over time, you learn what you like to hunt most. I suppose I'm really a North American hunter at heart, which is fortunate because that's what my readers most want to read about. So, like most gun riders, my hunts include a lot of deer hunts, a lot of pig hunts, quite a few elk hunts, and so forth, but duplicates don't count. I'm crazy about buffalo hunting. Where's Mark Haldane? In October, Mark and I got into my 100th buffalo. That was a lot of fun, but hey, duplicates don't count. I can't do it all the time, but I love the mountains, and I've noticed that they've gotten steeper and taller in the last few years. Where's Jordan Wallace? Young Jordan just about killed me on a backpack sheep hunt this past August. I think I've hunted 95 sheep and goats, but duplicates don't count. Let's not even talk about anthropomorphic animals like elephants, bears, and the great cats, crazy about all of them, except to say again, duplicates don't count. So to a great extent, I did it to myself. But I'm really pleased that this has happened tonight. While it's not true that this award has been a lifelong goal, it is true that I've been a student of the Weatherby for many, many years. When I was a kid, I could give song and verse on the exploits of the early winners. The first awards banquet I attended, back when it was still Roy Weatherby's party, was in 1979, when my great hero, Dr. Bob Spiegel, was the winner. I joined the board soon after the Weatherby Foundation was started, so that goes back decades as well. Going back that far means I'm not getting any younger. But it also means that I've been involved with this award longer than most of our recent winners, and current nominees have been aware of it. That's meaningless. But time marches on, so it also means that I'll probably be the last winner who actually knew Roy E. Weatherby. So I thought I'd finish with a story about Roy. Adam, that's your grandfather. He's the guy this award is named for. I first met him when I was about 12 years old, spent some time with him when I was just starting out in the 70s. He was kind and patient, both to a kid and an aspiring journalist, but this I can tell you, Roy Weatherby was a zealot. He fervently believed in his theories about velocity and about rifles and cartridges. Now, we'll fast forward to 1984, Los Angeles Summer Olympics. Bob Peterson was the shooting sports commissioner, so his entire company, me included, was enlisted to help. We set up a sports fair out near the shooting venues in a Corps of Engineers swamp east of LA. It was under canvas in beastly summer weather, over 100 degrees, and humid, just awful. By 1984, Roy Weatherby wasn't a well man, but he was there at the Weatherby stand all day, every day, in coat and tie, because that's the way Roy Weatherby dressed for business. And he told stories and he talked about his guns and his cartridges all day, every day, to shooters of all ages. He really believed in his product, and he believed in this sport, and he believed in this award. And that was Roy Weatherby, and that's the man that ultimately this award honors. Well, nobody gets up here by accident. Nobody gets up here without a lot of help. I want to thank all the great outfitters, guides, and landowners who shown me the way along so many game trips. Many are here tonight, and I really appreciate that, and no doubt I'll miss somebody, but maybe you folks could stand, and please keep standing. This is quite an all-star cast. The Atchison clan couldn't make it. Jack Sr. passed away last week. Yeah. I've known him for 50 years. Tom and Dixie Arthur, Mike and Diane Ballou, Chris and Peg Bilkey, Shane Black, Dirk DeBod, Harpreet Brar, Frederick and Scott Burchell, Jason and Nicolette Wicks, the Frontier Safaris crew, Ivan Carter, Zach and Mutz Decker, Glacier Guides, Pete Fisher, Robert and Stephen Gegenheimer, Chuck and Ruth Erble, Timber Trails. They're my partner in our Kansas whitetail hunting, and boy, we got a lot of alumni from Timber Trails here tonight. Mark Haldane, Dylan Holmes, and the Zambezi Delta Safaris team. Bruce and Jane Keller, Sasho Ivanov and Tony Tonchev, Hunt Europe. Con Karagaya, Hakan Ozala and the Shikar team. Bob Margaret and Rob Kern, the Hunting Consortium team. Marina Lamprecht. Dave Leonard and Jordan Wallace, Mountain Monarchs. Tony and Sue Lombardo. Michelle Manfiakis. Gary and Julia Meade. Salomon Forte. Mike Murray. David Muller. Jaco Oosthuizen. Riza Gozluk and Mehmet Alkan, the Cabernet team. Leone Rossi and Emmanuel Cohen, Italian Safaris. Jim Ruff. Byron and Sandra Sadler. Jim Shockey. Alvaro Villegas. Ken Wilson, Lad Shunas. Hey, if I missed anybody, my apologies, but please take a bow. And thank you all for so many great days of feeling. And I should tell you, the many hunters I've shared camps with, a lot of those folks are here as well. Thank you. And of course, my patient and long-suffering family. And now, with this event nearly concluded, I think it's time for me to fade off into the sunset. I'll be selling my rifles and getting some golf clubs. I'll be trading in my high-grades and small canoes for some really bright-colored Nikes.
Not.
But maybe not just yet. General Boomer, I really appreciate you being here tonight. I can't thank you enough for your kind words. Hey, Marines can do almost anything, but I'm a little worried about you handling that monstrous trophy. So I'd like to ask my two favorite hunting partners, Joe Bishop and my wife Donna, to come up and give you a hand. And just in case they can't handle it, I'd like to ask my two other hunting partners, Brittany and Caroline Boddington, my two daughters, to come up and help as well, because this has very much been